The worst cruise ship, cabins to never book. You know that feeling when you finally book your dream cruise? The excitement, the anticipation. That moment you click confirm and start counting down the days until departure. But here's what nobody tells you. That cabin you just booked? It might be the one thing that ruins everything. Not every cabin is created equal. Some are tucked into nightmare locations where sleep becomes impossible. Others come with hidden problems the cruise lines conveniently forget to mention. And a few? They're positioned in spots so awful experienced cruisers wouldn't take them for free. In this video, I'm exposing the worst cruise ship cabins you should never, ever book. The layouts, locations, and deck positions that turn dream vacations into floating nightmares. Most first-time cruisers don't know these exist until it's too late. But not you. Number 7. Cabins directly below the pool deck. Picture this. It's 6 a.m. You're deep asleep after a long day exploring port. Then it starts. The scraping. Deck chairs being dragged across the floor above your head. Constant. Relentless. Like nails on a chalkboard that never stops. Welcome to life directly below the pool deck. Here's what happens. Every morning, crew members rearrange hundreds of lounge chairs. They're not trying to wake you. They're just doing their job. But when your cabin ceiling is the pool deck floor, you hear everything, every single thing. The chairs scraping, the early morning joggers pounding the deck, the pool parties that start at noon and don't stop until midnight. Most cruisers don't even think about what's above them when they book. They see a great price on Deck 7 and jump on it. Then they board and realize their mistake. That affordable cabin sits directly beneath the main pool, the hot tubs, and the 24-hour party zone. Smart cruisers, they study deck plans like maps to buried treasure. They identify exactly where pools, theaters, and nightclubs sit. Then they choose cabins far, far away. Because no amount of money saved is worth 7 nights of sleep deprivation. The worst part, the cruise line won't move you. Once you're in, you're stuck. So before you book, zoom in on that deck plan. Trace the pool deck outline. And choose a cabin at least 2 decks below or in a completely different section. Your sanity depends on it. Number 6. Obstructed view balconies. You paid for an ocean view. You imagined yourself standing on that balcony, coffee in hand, watching the sunrise over endless blue water. Then you open those curtains for the first time and see it. A massive orange lifeboat, blocking everything. This is the obstructed view trap. And it's more common than you think. Here's the thing. Cruise lines are legally required to disclose obstructed views, but they bury it. It's in the fine print. Hidden in booking codes, listed as partial ocean view or restricted balcony view. Sounds harmless, right? Wrong. What they mean is your entire balcony looks directly into the side of a lifeboat, a structural beam, or a giant metal wall. Some passengers don't even realize until embarkation day. They walk into their cabin excited and step onto the balcony only to find their ocean view is a view of orange fiberglass. No horizon, no sunset. Just a wall, and here's the cruel part. You paid almost the same price as the person next door with a clear view. Sometimes just $50 or $100 less. For a balcony you'll never want to use, smart cruisers avoid this by doing one simple thing. They never book guarantee cabins in balcony categories. Guarantee means the cruise line assigns your cabin, and they love putting guarantee bookings in obstructed view rooms. Instead, they select their exact cabin number. They zoom in on deck plans. They look for lifeboats, davits, and structural overhangs. They cross-reference with photos from previous cruisers on Cruise Critic. Because if you're paying for ocean views, you better be getting ocean views. Number 5, cabins near the anchor. The anchor. Most passengers never think about it. It's just that massive piece of metal at the front of the ship. Out of sight, out of mind, until you book a cabin near it. Then it becomes your worst nightmare. Here's what happens. The ship arrives in port around 6 a.m. You're asleep dreaming of tropical beaches. Then suddenly, clank, clank, clank. A sound so loud, so violent, it feels like the entire ship is being torn apart from the inside. The anchor is dropping, and if your cabin is anywhere near the bow on lower decks, you won't just hear it. You'll feel it in your bones. The anchor chain weighs tons. When it releases, it rattles through massive metal channels that run through the forward section of the ship. The vibration is unreal. Your bed shakes. The walls rumble. It sounds like construction happening inside your cabin. And it doesn't just happen once. It happens at every port, arrival and departure. Sometimes multiple times a day if you're doing a port-intensive itinerary. You can't escape it, you can't sleep through it. Earplugs don't help. Experienced cruisers know this. They avoid forward cabins on lower decks entirely, especially decks 1 through 4 near the bow. Those are anchor territory. Instead, they book midship or aft, away from the mechanical chaos, because your cruise isn't restful if you're woken up like you're sleeping inside a construction site. Number 4. Cabins directly below the theater. You love Broadway-style shows. You're thrilled the ship has nightly performances. But here's what you didn't consider. That theater, it's directly above your cabin. And those shows run late. Very late. This is one of the most overlooked cabin mistakes cruisers make. They see a great price on a cabin and book it. They don't realize they're one deck below the main theater. Then night 1 arrives. The show starts at 9 p.m. You're exhausted from embarkation and decide to turn in early. But sleep? Forget it. The music is loud. The bass reverberates through the ceiling. You hear every stomping dance number, every round of applause, every encore. The show ends around 11 p.m., but the noise doesn't stop there. The theater empties. Hundreds of passengers shuffle out, talking, laughing, dragging their feet across the floor above you. And if you're on a ship with multiple show times, this happens twice a night. Sometimes 3 times every single night. The worst part is, cruise lines don't warn you. The deck plan shows the theater location, sure, but it doesn't scream, "Warning, no sleep zone." You have to figure it out yourself, or learn the hard way. Smart cruisers cross-reference deck plans before booking. They identify theaters, comedy clubs, and music venues. Then they avoid any cabin within 2 decks below or adjacent. They choose quiet zones, areas far from entertainment hubs. Because entertainment is great when you're awake, not when you're trying to sleep. Number 3. Connecting cabins. Connecting cabins sound perfect if you're traveling with family. 2 rooms, 1 door between them. Easy access makes sense, right? But here's the problem. If you're not traveling with family, connecting cabins are a privacy nightmare. That door between cabins, it's not soundproof, not even close. You hear everything from the cabin next door. Conversations, TV shows, arguments slow, kids running around at 6 a.m. It's like your neighbors are in the room with you. And here's what cruise lines don't tell you. They often sell connecting cabins to groups. Families with young children, bachelor parties, large friend groups, people who have zero reason to keep things quiet because they assume everyone around them is part of their party. Solo travelers and couples get the worst of it. You booked a romantic getaway, and instead, you're listening to someone else's vacation through a thin door all week. Smart cruisers avoid connecting cabins unless they're actually using the connection. When booking, they specifically request non-connecting rooms. They call the cruise line directly if they have to, because even if the cabin is empty next door at the start, someone will move in, and you have no control over who that is. Privacy matters, and connecting cabins destroy it. Number 2. Cabins on decks with interior promenades. Some modern cruise ships have interior promenades. Beautiful indoor walkways lined with shops, bars, and restaurants. They're architectural marvels, stunning to walk through during the day. But here's the catch. If your cabin opens onto one, you've just booked yourself into a 24-hour noise zone. These promenades are public spaces. That means foot traffic at all hours. People walking past your door at 2 a.m. after the nightclub. Crew members rolling carts at 5 a.m. Families with strollers at 7 a.m. Your cabin door opens directly into chaos, and it gets worse. Many promenade cabins have windows that face inward, toward the promenade, not the ocean. So not only do you have zero privacy, people can literally see into your room unless you keep the curtains closed 24/7, but you also don't get real ocean views. You get a view of strangers walking by. Some cruisers book these thinking they're getting a deal, and they are, because nobody wants them. The price is low for a reason. Smart cruisers skip promenade cabins entirely. They pay a little more for traditional hallway cabins with real privacy and real views, because your cabin should be a sanctuary, not a storefront. Number 1. Aft cabins directly above the wake. Aft cabins with balconies overlooking the wake. They sound incredible, and in photos, they look stunning. That expansive view of the ocean trailing behind the ship. But here's the truth experienced cruisers know. These cabins come with one massive, often unbearable problem: vibration. The ship's propellers sit directly below these cabins. And when those engines are running, which is constantly, the vibration is relentless. Your bed hums, the walls buzz. If you set a glass of water on the nightstand, it ripples like you're in Jurassic Park. For some passengers, it's tolerable. For others, especially those sensitive to motion or noise, it's a deal breaker. You can't escape it. You can't turn it off. It's just there, a constant low-frequency rumble that seeps into everything. And the worst part? These cabins are often marketed as premium. Wake View Suite. Aft balcony retreat. They charge more for them. You're paying a premium to sleep on top of a motor. Smart cruisers, they read reviews obsessively before booking aft cabins. They check cruise critic forums. They ask about specific cabin numbers. And if they're even slightly sensitive to vibration, they avoid aft entirely and book midship, where the motion is minimal and the engines are far, far away. Because the view isn't worth it if you can't sleep. Look, booking the wrong cabin can turn your dream cruise into a week of regret. The noise, the vibration, the lack of privacy. These aren't small inconveniences, they're deal breakers. But now you know. You know what to avoid, where the traps are, and how to choose smarter. So before you click book on your next cruise, take the time. Study the deck plans. Read the reviews. Ask questions. Choose your cabin like your entire vacation depends on it. Because it does. If this video just saved your next cruise, hit that like button. Subscribe for more insider cruise tips. And drop a comment telling me, have you ever been stuck in a nightmare cabin? I want to hear your stories. Now go book that perfect cabin. You've earned it.